We have a second alternator. The first one failed on me because I redlined it, the vehicle in first gear, battery light set, and I was only getting an output of like, I think 8 or 9 volts to the battery. I thought it was a connection loose or something like that, but it wasn't that. It failed when they checked it at O'Reilly's. So I'm happy with this unit because it's completely clean. There's no scuffs or anything on it, unlike the first one. And the reason I have it apart now is because I couldn't fit the secondary heat shield, which is found on the 3SGE and 3SGTE engines to protect it from excessive heat from the heat exhaust manifold. So since I couldn't find anything like this is like a specialty bolt, and I looked everywhere, like 4 or 5 different stores, even Ace Hardware, Industrial, but they didn't have it either, and I didn't want to go anywhere to have it made because they always ask you for like a minimum order of like $100 if you're gonna machine bolts from scratch. So I got this M8 by 0.8 thread pitch by 50 millimeters long, a little bit longer than I wanted it to be, but I had somebody weld them, and then it wasn't clearing these little fins here, so I just went ahead and shaved them down, and now I'm gonna go ahead and paint them. This is the 7th gen antenna base, so it's the same length basically, but the brackets are different. And then I don't know what this is for. This is for the power section of the antenna as a ground point. I can't remember what I did when I removed the power assembly from inside it, but I need to figure out how to mount it to the bracket, this bracket here, or how I can rework this or bend this and then put a nut and a bolt through it maybe. There's no drain on this 7th gen one because the reason I got it in the first was because this screws onto the top, and then that pretty much settles that. So it's the 13th of April, and put the antenna on, put the strut bar back in. Just wasn't able to quite bolt this bottom piece that goes on the inside to the original location because the 7th gen basis comes up a centimeter short. So just form that piece that bends, that bolts onto it, you know, in the car with your hand. It's a pretty narrow and thin piece of aluminum. Went to the exhaust shop, got this bpipe redone because I was hearing some rattle in the system and I wanted to get rid of that. It wasn't like that when I originally installed the new catback system. So let me go over the specs. OEM flange. This one I couldn't find anywhere online in a 409 grade. I think it could be pretty easy to replicate. I didn't want to spend any more money on it. Was going to go to some place that was going to charge me $700, which didn't even include making a new flange. And that was going to be in a SUS 304 grade. So this is all 409 for the most part. Let me go over it from top to bottom. This is 2 inches going in. They didn't do the slip fit so that this can center out for some reason, even though they had the original design, whatever. Then originally the OEM one is actually 2 inches up here because they expand it here, and then it actually gets smaller. So it's like 1.8 inches, or would be like I think 49 millimeters outer diameter here, and like 52, or sorry 50, and then like 48 millimeters. And then this merge section isn't too bad. I told them in the beginning that I wanted it further back. That's why I got the shorter flex pipe. Whatever, I didn't want to micromanage them, so they didn't really do that. I'm not really too upset about it because this actually is larger than OEM, as is this back. So, you know, for this is going to be for the oxygen sensor. Then this is a Turbo Flex by Beeline Motorsports. I think it's in Rolling Hills or Torrance. And I was going to get the Vibrant one, but they didn't have any in stock. So this is actually 409 on the outside and 304 on the inside. The Vibrant uses 409 outside and 409 inside. It's the only difference. And I got the turbo interlock flex pipe so that it causes the least amount of turbulence in the system. Then this is going to be for a wideband sensor to monitor, you know, airflow ratio. This is all 2.5 inch, you know, nicely mandrel bent in one piece. That way there's not turbulence in like small little welds. I'll show you a picture right now of an MR2 guy who did a similar setup for his car, for his beams. I'm pretty sure this is aluminized steel. And then I could have got a aftermarket 409 grade stainless flange here by what's that company called? LC Performance. but I didn't want to spend any more money. This is probably like aluminized or mild steel with the coating from factory. You know, everything 2000, every vehicle 2000 and up, I've been told several times, uses 409 grade. So this overall is much lighter, and this 2.5 inch, as you can see, actually slipped over this section here because this is 60 millimeters outer diameter, or like 60.5, and then this is 61 millimeters. The guy called it a butt weld in this section here. So the welds aren't half bad. Let me show you the bottom side. And I'm gonna replace these. These guys are actually different. This is for a 1MZ. So you can see the size difference is a little bit smaller. So I gotta hopefully find some of these on LC Performance, these size, or maybe they have something at O'Reilly or AutoZone. And if not, I'll just order that from LC Performance. I know they have a lot of different sizes. So I think overall the merge section is pretty smooth. You can see the welds there, and that's pretty much it. So hopefully once I fix the exhaust leaks at the back of the system, which I had to order from Japan, from Kakimoto, because Grady doesn't specify their bolt width spacing. So whenever that comes in with a couple other OEM parts, I'll get that and then hopefully get an exhaust clip sometime here soon. This is a 98-02 throttle cable. This bracket here that you see is also from 98-02 1ZZ Corolla. And then the spring is from this generation Corollas, which is the 03 to like 06, 07. It's a little tight. I should have got the one from the previous generation Corolla in the 98-02 because it has a couple less spring windings and it's kind of binding up. I sprayed some wet 3M lubricant on there, so we'll see how long it lasts before it starts binding. And I had to like bend that little tab there while it was mounted on there. I had to grab a hammer and a flathead and I gave it a couple smacks, as that is pretty stiff. And then this thing that holds the actual cable, this bracket, which has like that bottom piece for the cruise control, I'm almost certain it's from a 98-02 Corolla with cruise control. So it would be the later specs, I think the 01, 02. So that's that setup there. Hello people of YouTube and to my very few subscribers that are watching now. So I wanted to show you a few things that I've bought over the past couple months since the last upload. So let's first take a look at some of the not so exciting things, but this is the center console. I had to remove it because I wanted to install this back again, the rear ashtray, so that everything looks, you know, clean when you're looking at it from the back side of the car in. So I'll do that, and I had to label all of the connections for the amp that sits in the middle. That way I don't have to trace where the lines go for each speaker and blah, blah, blah. So secondly, I bought this thing here. There's a fly in here that's annoying the hell out of me. I closed the garage just so I wouldn't hear the neighbors yakking away with their annoying dogs. So this is the upper and lower radiator supports. Here's the part number for that. And this is the part number for these ones, for the upper supports. It took like 3 weeks for these just to arrive to my local Toyota. These are a little expensive. I paid like $103, and that was with a discount considering they know that we buy parts from them, from Toyota, obviously, to get shipped to where I work at, which is Lexus. And I mean, it's nice to have OEM stuff, and I tried to look for aftermarket. Couldn't find anything. So anyway, I kind of had to eat the cost of that. That's that here. And then bought these covers for the lower part of the, or the center subframe, where the two nuts for the front and the rear go for the access covers. So next is this filler, what do you call it? Oil cap screw-on, TRD. So the parts guys there at my dealer actually had one of these in stock. I don't know why. I saw that they installed it on a RCF, and then I checked the thread pitch. It's the same for all Toyotas. Like this Toyota all the way to the 2000 and I don't know, 2021 Toyotas. So this is what they call oil filler cap. And interesting how all these stuff always has like everything but the 3SG, like 2JZ, 1JZ, 1JZTE, 1G, GE, I don't know. Is that the Alteza? The 2.5 liter or the 2.0 liter inline six Alteza? Is that what that is? 1GGE. So this is the metal style one or the aluminum one. You know, you have this, and then you have this sticker, which is goes for that. So that's cool. I'll install that once I get the engine cover fixed from the cracking, which I don't know if it's malprep that the guy did at the body shop or excessive heat, even though I don't know. Anyway, I'll figure that out sometime soon and get that on there. That's that. And then I'll probably be selling this version 1 weighted Super Class A blue stitched OEM shift knob. That's that. And then the next cool thing, but not the coolest thing that I bought, was back from the guy who I originally sold it to, which was the TRD quick shift set. This is the Japanese part number, and then you're gonna have this, which is your USA part number 20940-04. And there seems to be a confusion on the forum. If you look at the sticky thread, it says there's 2 versions, but that's, I believe, is false information. And the reason I say this is because this part number here, if you look at it with the TRD pamphlet, which is for the 202 chassis, the streets version, I posted that picture front and back of the pamphlet on the Japanese TRD parts list, which is now like basically 100% complete. There is this part number, and then if you look on the 2002 TRD Japan parts catalog, which I just recently bought, that same number is on there. So there's only one iteration or production of this specific quick shift set for the 6th gen Celica. So that's pretty cool. I mean, I saw one of these posted on Yahoo Auctions, and I think they were selling them for $600. They didn't even come with a shift knob. The original shift knob that comes with this kit, you know, and which is the leather one, pretty good condition. Just need to clean that up. And then we have the actual kit here, the unit assembly with, you know, the shifter base aluminum shift base bushings, or metal. I think they're metal. I don't know. I feel like metal. So that's that. And then just wanted to show you this pamphlet. Like, this is whatever, like the instructions. Not that it really needs instructions on how to install it. That's that. And this is what I paid for it when I bought it for this guy. When I used to work at Toyota as a loop tech, I bought it for this guy who sold it back to me. So I paid, like you can see there, $116. And this was purchased on July 3rd, 2018. So I actually did buy it for, to be honest with you, $190. So he gave me a really good price. And so we'll put this back in there. I'll install this sometime soon. And what else? One more thing that I thought was really cool and really ultra, I don't know why I use that word, ultra, really not seen as much, and it is a 3-point strut bar, and not a 202, not a 205 version, which has the extra Humpty Hump. If you guys ever seen what Beat Rush sells now, Beat Rush Lail, they have their 3-point strut bar that they sell for the 205 and the 202. So this is the, you can see this is the condition of these current ones. The guy just told me to install them like that, but I said no way. So we'll get these powder coated, same color. This is the center part. This is metal here, but what this is a C1 202 Type S, or I call it a version 2 strut bar for the front. And I bought this for that guy a long time ago from Yahoo Auctions. Actually, can't remember the price I paid, because I remember what I paid initially for it to get to Jesse Streeter, but I can't remember what I paid after for shipping to get to the States, because I think it was combined with something else. But nonetheless, I paid $320 for this. This is not the 2-point version. This is the 3-point. The other pieces are down under there with the hardware. So that's pretty cool that I was able to get this back from him. It wasn't even something I was expecting to buy this and this. Like, he just randomly messaged me on Instagram, and then he sent me a text saying, hey, you want to buy these things? So I had no plan to even buy these these components back from him because I guess he's moving on to another chassis. So that's pretty cool because this C1 sticker, it's not anywhere online. I've checked there are different websites that list C1 stickers and emblems and what do you want to call that stuff, and they don't have this sticker here. So I'm gonna have my brother remake this, copy it, and then I'll remove it and clean the bar, make it look shiny again, and then I'll be able to place this exact same sticker on the trunk, since technically that design on the truck bar is made from C1. So that's pretty cool. I have all these things here that I just need to get a little bit more funds, redo those things like the way I want it to look nice and clean, install that, put the interior back together, so on and so forth. So stay tuned for that stuff, and hope to upload videos hopefully by the end of the year. All right guys, see you then.